All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and what was I trying to do? I was trying to pull up the patch notes just to kind of have them pulled up. So we just had an update as of January 30th, 2025. Nothing really super duper impactful, although the New Year's fair is closed. So unfortunately, that once a year fair that gives us access to some pretty cool stuff is now closed. Hopefully you got what you wanted to get from that. Now, there was some like global changes, like the amount of experience for certain types of fish, the prices of certain type of fish were buffed. The only like over on mosquito and bear, some fish like their sizes and maybe prices were slightly increased or whatnot. But the main like change, other than those sort of global changes, which I don't want to like gloss over them, but I just wasn't really planning on spending a lot of time going over the patch. What I really just wanted to quickly say was the specific change that was made is that they actually added Loach to Mosquito. So, like the new species on a map, which they do this every once in a while, it is kind of funny to imagine like sitting around thinking about what change are we going to do in this small minor patch. Why don't we add a species to Mosquito? And then how do you settle on Loach as the species? I don't know, but this is where we are. So the very first Loach I've ever caught at Mosquito is right here. It was on Bloodworm and is at 10-meter clip right in this spot that I'm standing, which I'll show you on the map. I was hoping I could get a marker Loach. Since we've caught a Loach now, how cool would it be to actually catch one that's a marker? It hasn't happened so far, but I thought I'd give it at least a couple more minutes while we're making this video. So I am using all bloodworm, and I'm using size 22 hooks with basic bottom on the middle, but the outside rods are both on loop rig, 22 hooks, bloodworm, and we're at 4678 casting 10 meters towards camp. And that's basically exactly what we're doing. I've been here for 6 minutes and immediately got a Loach. So now I'm just hoping we can get a marker. I'll keep you posted. Again, I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes. It's going to be a very short video. But let's see if we can't find a marker Loach. If not, at least we caught a non-marker Loach. All right, let's see what we got here. Stepped away for a second. Now we've got 3 fish on. Maybe we'll see a Loach. Bleak. It is nice because we're catching pretty decent sized bleak, which you're used to catching more bleak on float, but it does happen where they will sometimes come in pretty nice on bottom, which if I was a low-level player fishing at Mosquito, I would take note of this spot, because think about cafe orders and look at the variety of species that we are catching right now. So that's pretty cool. Oh, we did have a water body record Loach on bottom light material already. So like, just for example, let's see if any of these, yeah, could get there on Crucian. So if you just sat here and farm this spot, you're 100% going to get there on look at, there's already a Loach cafe order. You don't need that many, and you get a good chunk of silver, and you could do bleak at the same time. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, although at night, I think this spot might even have rough. You could actually hit 5 cafe orders, like NP right now, from this very spot. So that's kind of cool. Again, if I was a low-level player, I think if I found out about this, bloodworm is one of the cheapest baits. Very small hook is what you're looking for. You don't need any strength in your setup. You're not going to catch anything big in all likelihood here. And what if this was a Loach, by the way? And yeah, we've probably already finished that roach order, right? And you're hitting cafe orders, which is just kind of amazing. Yeah, you cannot sleep on how much roach like these bloodworms. That's okay. I am curious. Let's see if there's any other all right, Mosquito absolute Loach records. I'm going to say that it's bloodworm, but I could be wrong. Oh, bloodworm with a worm and red worm mixed in. But that's pretty cool. And what do I need to show up on the US? I got to go plus 163. Look at these bark beetles showing up too. Oh, this is float. Oh, these are float. I didn't know Loach might be better on float. Well, this is the spot. Now he's got to decide if you want to do... Ooh, it's a nice rough. You want to do feeder or float, I guess. That is a big old roach, considering the size hooks we're using. Uh-oh. There it is. So, without happy hour... So this would basically be about 300 XP. I mean, if you're low level, I'm just trying to give you an idea. If you have premium, it's double that, but about 300 XP for a little marker Loach. That's 67. Well, there it is. We got our marker. That is very exciting. I think that's another Loach. So they're on the bottom. So if you're float fishing, I don't know, at least I would start trying to float fish for them on the bottom. Kind of makes sense though, that sandwich bait would work especially well. That might be another one. Something very small. Yeah. But I don't think we can, I could be wrong. I don't think we can turn these into bait or anything, right? The lamprey's the only weird shaped bait we've got. All right, let's go. I think we can at least do the roach. So you'd have to be pretty patient to get the crucian and the gibble, because those are definitely bycatch, it feels like. We've got 0 gibble and only 1 crucian. You'd get there eventually, although you could just toss in a different bait real quick. But 5 of these, I mean, this is great. 10 silver for most of them non-marker. Couple bleak away. Oh, we've now done this as well. It might be worth being patient, but I'm not. I mean, we're not going to belabor this point. Rough is all. You're going to crush rough, which is another 40 silver. You sit here overnight. This is pretty fantastic little spot, and as long as the cafe orders support it, you're actually going to make some decent silver in the first hour here, because you're going to do several cafe orders, and if I could go back in time, one thing I would do is see how much that marker Loach was worth before I put it in the cafe order. But given how much the cafe order, I mean, it's not going to be worth very much, because the cafe order is only worth, what, 20? There's another one, and that one I think is even bigger, so let's go check that one. That's exciting. The Loach are definitely coming in here like late afternoon, more than anything else. So 3 silver. 3 silver for it. So if you look at the non-sea fish that I have in my net, 24 silver. Yeah, but with cafes, if you fish here an hour, I mean, I would say you're going to, without a sweat, I mean, you're going to easily do 100 silver. And for a low-level player who's just getting going at Mosquito, this is kind of a fun little spot. The active, the bite rate, and the cafe order potential. That a little tench? Wow, yet another species. All right, so I sat here another couple minutes just to see. We haven't had a loach in 5 minutes. So I think what it looks like, again, you know, you never know with this game. It could prove me wrong, but I think the loach are not going to be very active overnight, which is true for a lot of fish species. So this isn't like a huge surprise, but I would imagine this is where we're going to get a lot more white bream and rough. Once we settle into overnight, let's make sure we didn't get one more. We did. We got one more loach. So again, maybe I'm wrong. I just don't know. It certainly has slowed down a little bit. I mean, we're still catching fish, but not popping off quite to the same degree as the... Plenty of loach in this spot. I mean, it's no problem to catch a loach if you're just wanting to catch one on Mosquito. Again, 10-meter clip, bloodworm, just casting at camp. Looks like a lot of the larger loach have been caught on float, but some have been caught on feeder as well. I wonder if it's like so many other fish, if you know, if you're sitting here at 5 a.m., if that's when your RNG is going to be the strongest to get a big one, but we have had some decent ones. Let's go check the cafe one more time, or the cafe, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, that's interesting with the Chinese sleeper. I mean, I think I would not be surprised if you're using worm here, especially, you might see Chinese sleeper in the mix. All right, looks like we've got one more fish here. Uh-oh, did I pull too early? We're good. Oh, even a bream. Wow. Alright. So I think that's good. Let's wrap this up. I'm going to show you one more time just the price that we're getting. It's going to be about 3 silver a pop for these like sub 75 gram loach. We'll confirm this really quick. Go loach by weight. Yeah. So 69 is 3, 63 is 2.75. All right. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful. If you want to catch a loach at Mosquito, this will at least get you started. All right. See you next time.